Hello and welcome to COVID Conversations here on WNCU 90.7 FM, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm your host, Kimberley Cartwright. I'm the News and Public Affairs Director at WNCU, and we're using a Zoom platform to talk about how COVID-19 is affecting our world. Our guest today is Bhavani Arabandi. She is Senior Research Associate in the Center on Labor Services and Population at the Urban Institute. And we're going to talk today about Apprenticeship 2000. It's a 4-year technical training program designed to help people learn skilled technical trades, and they're doing it all during COVID-19. Hello, Bhavani, and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Kimberly. It's so great to be here.
Oh, it's my good pleasure. Let's get started. Let's talk about Apprenticeship 2000 and how is it a good model for companies and communities across the country who are interested in apprenticeship programs?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question.
Yes.
So Apprenticeship 2000 is an employer consortium model for a registered apprenticeship program. It was created in 1995 by 4 employers, Ameritech Dye and Mold, Detweiler, Sarstead, and Bloom. And this is really interesting, they transformed from competitors to collaborators to address talent shortages they were facing in manufacturing. And it's a good model because it offers several advantages. For employers, the consortium offers cost-effective mechanisms for developing apprenticeship into an enduring talent development strategy. For example, Bloom's retention rate of apprentices is very high. 75% of their apprentices stay on for more than 5 years after completing their apprenticeship. For apprentices, it offers rigorous, high-quality career pathways that start with work experience and occupational skills and lead to rewarding careers. So on average, apprentices make about $70,000 per year once they graduate. It's a win-win for everybody.
It's an exciting win-win for everybody. So where do you go to look for talent to fill the pool of apprenticeship slots?
So there are several ways you can find them. For a youth apprenticeship program, you would connect with high schools. So you would talk to career counselors, you would talk to high school principals. You could also connect with your community college because often they have these dual enrollment programs that can help high school students succeed. But your first place to start with, especially for youth apprenticeship, is high schools.
So would you explain like dual enrollment programs? What does that mean?
Absolutely. So dual enrollment is when they're still in a registered apprenticeship program. Dual enrollment basically means they're still in high school, taking some classes at the high school, but they're dually enrolled in an associate's degree program or some other college credit program at the local community college. So apprenticeship has a classroom aspect to it, but also an on-the-job training. So often students go to classes 2 or 3 days a week and then are at the employer learning on the skills job for a couple of days of the week. So it's a blended curriculum that is really, really exciting for students.
So how has Apprenticeship 2000 helped to maintain stability for apprentices and their families during the pandemic?
So during the pandemic, Apprenticeship 2000 has not been immune, right? During the pandemic, it was lucky to not have to let go any of the apprentices. So apprentices were able to maintain that stability for their families and themselves. A 4th-year apprentice told us that both of his parents were actually furloughed without pay. But this apprentice got paid during his apprenticeship, which allowed him to help his family feel secure during the pandemic. So he was really appreciative.
So that's really very exciting. So let's talk about like the occupations that are available for apprentices.
So at one point in time, apprenticeship was only thought about as for the trades, construction, electricians, plumbing, and things. But since then, a lot have changed. There are lots of apprentices in emerging sectors. So today you have, folks in cyber technology, cybersecurity, IT, health, advanced manufacturing, robotics technicians. You can have, drone operators that we've had recently, solar panel operators, CNC operators that look for both, some kind of IT skills along with technical skills. And they're all trained for all of this. They don't have to come, having any of those skills at the youth apprenticeship level. They're still learning how to do all of it. And so today you have over 650,000 active apprentices in the US and over 150,000 employers with apprenticeship programs, including tech giants like Google, Tesla, IBM, Microsoft. So it's an amazing, opportunity.
So forgive me, but when I thought about apprenticeship programs, I thought about customary vocations like bricklayers and plumbers. I did not think beyond that into robotics and some of these other careers. So talk about maybe some of the partners who work alongside you guys in this program to offer these apprenticeships to potential students.
So we are a DOL, U.S. Department of Labor funded project on youth apprenticeship. And we work with employers, we work with high schools, we work with community colleges, and sometimes even workforce development boards to develop apprenticeship programs. So it's a variety of partners. It depends on who is looking to work to establish a youth apprenticeship program. In the case of Apprenticeship 2000, it was a consortium of employers that came together. In Iowa, we're working with schools, high schools that are, apprenticeship sponsors. Places like South Carolina have community colleges as sponsors. So there are a variety of ways you can start an apprenticeship program, and we are willing to partner with anybody who is ready to take on this exciting term.
You touched on this a little bit earlier, but what are some of the advantages of the youth apprentice programs to young people who are thinking about their careers and future?
Absolutely. Apprentices gain a lot of essential skills, such as working on teams. And remember, our youth apprenticeship programs are for young people between 16 and 21. So these essential skills set them up in their professional life. Remember it, right? Again, they start as early as 16 years. So showing up on time for work is one of the things they are really, into. They also learn technical skills that are transferable, and they earn a national certificate. And then they also invest, a lot of companies are investing in apprentices and they want them to succeed. So when one company faced a leadership vacuum, the CEO actually advanced to former apprentices that had remained in the company after completing the apprenticeship program. And between them, the former apprentices had 13 to 14 years of experience in the company. So they not only rose to the challenge, but proved to be very successful in terms of customer feedback. That's a really big thing for companies. And one of the apprentices also told us he was able to, pay for his first house right out of the program because he had no college debt, after 4 years of work experience. How many of us can claim that? Most of us are still paying off college loans. So this is amazing for young people.
So talk about too for me, maybe some of the hurdles that apprenticeship programs face because of maybe lack of awareness and maybe some stigmas that surround such programs. And then, wrap it all up with COVID-19, that has to be a big hurdle too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with some of the hurdles first. So big obstacle for young people and youth apprenticeship programs is the belief that college is the first and only option for students. This is the predominant mindset for students, parents, counselors, in fact, all of us, right, in the United States. And it leads us to believe that college education is necessary for entry into decent jobs. Students who do not go to college are stigmatized. But not everyone goes to college despite this mindset. And not everyone that goes to college is actually successful. So it's really important to shift this narrative for college for all approach and focus on alternate career pathways such as apprenticeships that are proven to provide good jobs. The impact of COVID-19 has been great on apprenticeship programs. So remember, this one especially that we're talking about, Apprenticeship 2000, is based on business demand, and business demand has been hit hard, during the COVID period, and continues to. In normal years, Apprenticeship 2000 would hire about 15 to 20 apprentices. But during this past year, they hired 6 apprentices. But they want to keep hiring because they don't want to scramble when things get better. One apprentice told us that he was the first service technician apprentice in the program. By the time he graduated from the program, he was the only service technician because several of the older technicians had retired or left the area. The apprenticeship programs are about long-term planning. This helps businesses prepare for current talent shortages, but also future workforce needs. So despite the impact of COVID being pretty hard on these programs, they're still planning for the future.
So how are apprentices identified? How do you go about getting these people interested in Apprenticeship 2000?
It's multiple ways. There's no singular way, but the first place you start with is with high school counselors, high school principals. You go, Apprenticeship 2000 especially had the employers go as a group or approach it as a program together to go and talk to young people in classes. They even had some of the community college instructors actually go to Germany and Switzerland and Austria to train and learn more about our apprenticeship programs. So they're able to talk to high school students. They also bring with them former apprentices to talk to their peers and say what the program was like and how they got interested in it. We have another young apprentice who told us that he had a 4.0 GPA, but was not interested in college. He wanted to do something hands-on. And when he found Apprenticeship 2000, he was ecstatic. He feels like he's far ahead of his peers that did not go to the apprenticeship program today. And he goes back to colleges and schools often to talk to students to try out the program.
Tell me about slots in North Carolina. Can you give me maybe an approximation of how many slots are available for interested possible apprentices?
Yeah, absolutely. So Apprenticeship 2000 itself has about 15 to 20 slots. Or in normal years, again, I have to emphasize that. In COVID years, it's shrunk a little bit. But Apprenticeship 2000 also gave rise to about 25 different consortia across North Carolina. And there are also single employer, apprenticeship programs. So there's several spots available for students that want to get in touch and want to know more about apprenticeship programs. I would suggest either, they can check out our website at www.urban.org for some apprentice stories and connect with us, or even connect with their, local, the school counselors, principals, and ask about apprenticeship programs. That's another way to get through.
This has been very exciting, and we're really, really low on time, but I appreciate you, Bhavani Arabandi, for coming to talk to us about Apprenticeship 2000. It has been my very, very good pleasure to speak with you. And if anyone wants information about Apprenticeship 2000, how may they be in touch?
So Urban Institute has deep experience working with, high schools, employers, colleges, stakeholders to expand apprenticeship programs. If you want to partner with Urban, please email us at apprenticeship@urban.org. I am so sorry, apprenticeship@urban.org. And I just want to finish with, this is a terrific opportunity to be a part of a larger national effort to be leaders in the space and help develop youth apprenticeship programs in a wide range of industries. So please connect with us. We look forward to working with you.
It's been delightful speaking with you.
Thank you, Kimberly. It was fantastic being here.
Thank you. And thank you, audience, for watching. And we thank you very much for listening to COVID Conversations here on WNCU 90.7 FM. Be sure to like us, to follow us, and subscribe to our pages to see more about our archived shows. I'm Kimberly Pierce Cartwright, your host for COVID Conversations. Until next time.